Hello. It's Friday. Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony, and it's Q&A day. So what Q&A day is Friday. We call it the Magic Watch Ball Day. It's kind of a lighthearted take on people who think they have crystal balls in the watch industry. So you can ask the Magic Watch Ball a question, and she will answer. She's a smart ass. She can be funny. She can be a total pain in the ass. She could just totally be mean. A lot of times the questions are directed towards me and not the ball, but sometimes the ball, and then I add my 2 cents worth, and that's how it works. It's fun. It's whatever, I guess. If you want a question featured on Friday's Q&A, just comment below, and it'll be featured in one of them. I think I'm just getting so many questions lately. I'm going to have to break them up into 2 parts or something, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I appreciate everyone who has commented about my back problems. That means a lot to me, dude. It's been a rough road the last few weeks, but I'm feeling a little bit better. So I mean, I can move. So right on. So anyway, let's roll the intro and we'll get into this. I appreciate all of you. All right, so let's start with the first question. It's not an easy one. This comes from Eagles4757. Tony, any way possible with the field you're in and connections to law enforcement, do a short video of the process the people who got scammed out of their watches can do. I don't understand that, man. Like, who owns the watches now? I'm sure the new owners of the watches have no idea. Just curious how the legalities play out. Great video. I'm assuming this question came from my 2 cents worth when I talked about Anthony Farrar. Yeah, dude, where are those watches now? Who knows, man? I honestly, there's not a whole lot I can tell you, except I can say that I wouldn't believe anything that comes out of his mouth at this point. I would think even the 2 people who branched off and did their own thing, maybe they're working for him as well. Nothing surprises me with this dude. However, if those watches were, of course, consignment watches that were taken and then sold, and then of course those people don't get their money, those people can, in short, file that watch as a stolen watch. However, they did give Anthony Farrar the watch to sell, but Anthony just decided to not pay them. So you could file it as a stolen watch, then it would register on the Rolex registry of stolen watches. However, the only recourse you would have is by filing a civil lawsuit, small claims court, depending if the watch is under $10,000 or over $10,000. Under $10,000, you're looking at small claims court. Over $10,000, it's a different matter. But that's a tough one, man. And there's another scam going around. I don't know if I should say anything. I can just tell you that there's not a lot that I can tell you other than with this kind of thing, it's bullshit, and that's all it is. There's another scam. Another thing I should do a separate video on this. In fact, I think I'm going to do a separate video on this, so I'm not going to mention, because there's another scam going around that I know about that is not cool, and this will affect the fact how you guys buy secondary watches, Rolex or etc., or it could definitely affect you. But I thank you for your question, man. I should keep this as a future to remind myself to do a video on that. This comes from DS Via LVA. I'm sorry, I'm totally screwing that up. Question for the Magic Watch Ball. Should Tony request his AD to order the Oyster Bracelet from Rolex so that he can swap out his Batgirl for a Batman? I did this recently and it transformed the watch. Was lucky to get the Batgirl this year for my AD. Congratulations, dude. And my client advisor gave me the option of also ordering the Oyster Bracelet from Rolex. Took a couple of months to come in, but I totally love it now, and I feel like I have 2 watches by swapping out the bracelets. Watch Ball. Should I order an Oyster Bracelet for my Batgirl? Knowing you, absolutely not. It's not your style. Why isn't it not my style? I wear Oyster Bracelets. I love Oyster Bracelets. No, duh, you like keeping the Batgirl as it is. You prefer the Jubilee bracelet as opposed to the Oyster on that specific watch. You would never swap it out. That is true. No, I'm going to keep the Jubilee on it. I do like Oyster bracelets on OPs and Submariners. and certain Datejust or whatever, or Explorer or whatever, but not on the Batgirl. But thank you for your question there. I appreciate it. MaxPax27. Tony, yes, I know this is a watch channel, but could you someday give your fans a brief look at your music interests? For instance, your interest in Hawaii and the ukulele, and your art background. Maybe you could even give us a brief tour of the art, photos, and awards we see on the wall behind you during your weekly videos. I appreciate that, man. I had a ton of awards and press and plaques and things like that I actually threw in the trash, believe it or not, when I was going through a bit of a rough time about 10 years ago. Literally everything went in the trash. I didn't want it anymore. I wanted nothing to do with music. That's how bad it was. The stuff that I have now that I've accumulated is more so recent stuff, and then some of the older stuff that I didn't throw away that I still have. Some of the awards I've won, I've given away, because I don't let that define who I am. And the stuff that's hanging on my walls is just because I got nowhere else to put it, not because I'm trying to make a shrine to myself and go, look at me, this is me, of course you know, this is the person on the wall. That's not me, dude. As far as I did a music video or about a year ago, and I think I even said then I don't like talking about it too much, but you know, maybe I'll do a revised version of it. Not much else to say other than what I said a year ago, but if you want to find that, by all means. But I do appreciate your question, dude. Yeah, I might do it. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Everyone else. The Watchdog with 3 G's. You know, you can have a G, you can have 2 G's, you can have 3 G's. 3 G's. Watchdog. All right, man. Great video as always, Tony. Thanks. I have a Glasutte Original CQ Blue on the bracelet with polished center links. I recently discovered the Glasutte silently released a new bracelet with an all-brushed finish, which is what I always wanted. So my question is, should I try and source an all-brushed bracelet from Glasutte Original, GO, if I even have the option? Buy the same watch with the new bracelet, or get my current bracelet professionally brushed by Glasutte Original? What would you do? Thanks. That's a nice watch, dude, but first and foremost, I don't think Glasutte is going to professionally brush your bracelet, man. I would see if you can actually get a new bracelet. You know, going out and buying another watch with the same bracelet, it's you know, I mean, it's a stretch, but you know, some people do things like that, and if you're down for doing that, then by all means go do that. But keep your bracelet as it is, man. You know what I mean? It's just that's the bracelet that's meant to be for that watch. And if you want another bracelet for it, just see if you can get another bracelet, you know, or buy the other watch with the bracelet you want. But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your comment. Oh my gosh. And giving una sehar. Sorry, dude. I'm not going to spell it. It's too long. But Q&A. Hi, Tony. Ghetto Guna. Okay, his name is Ghetto Guna from Sydney, Australia. Just wanted to support your view on how to purchase a Rolex from Rolex AD. Be nice, personable, consistent, and genuine. It takes time, but if you connect with your AD, we'll eventually make headway. Thanks, Tony, from loving your show from Oz. I hope my comment gets read out. Oh yeah, I remember that. Thanks, dude. Yeah, so I read your comment out, like I said I would. So I appreciate you watching, man. I appreciate everyone who watches, and especially my Australian and British counterparts, you know, and everyone in the United States and everyone around the world. You guys are awesome. Gordon Harwell, 2472. Gordon Harwell, 2472. You were on a good run with lots of great content. Thanks, brother. I hope your back is better as you got the shot and you are now dancing in the streets. Well, yeah, no, I'm not dancing yet, man. And the shot was a little more than a shot. It's super painful. I don't wish that kind of pain on anyone. But however, the pain that it took to get the epidural into my spine, they strap you on a table and they generally knock you out, put you under and whatever. But in my case, I'm like, no, I'll do it. I can handle pain. And this is the second one I got, so I can handle the pain. But you know, it's not fun, but at the same time, you feel it, and that pain is better to deal with that right then and there than the actual pain you're dealing from your back. So it's getting better. Thanks, man. Did I just totally go off topic? I'm actually planning a trip to the AD tomorrow, which would have been about a week ago, so I hope that went well, and hope it goes well. Right on, just what I said, right? Non-serious watch stuff. You have previously said that you should not buy stuff from the AD just to get the spend rate up. However, the watch ball might have a different opinion, and I would like to ask her: is the Black Bay 50? I'm sorry, is is the Black Bay 39 or the Pelagos 39 a better buy? Is it? Is the Black Bay 39 or the Pelagos 39 a better buy? Black Bay 39? Oh, it's like the OP one, right? There's two different watches, dude. It's up to you. It's what you prefer. Do you like the style of the sort of OP, or do you like the sport model? I don't want to let Tony feel left out, so he gets stuck answering the question. Do they actually have Tudor in stock, or is it another wait list? And also, why are your videos dropping late? Seems like they're a day off, but maybe it's me. Tudors are in stock, not all models, but like my Black Bay 54 was in stock. It just wasn't in the display case yet. Some of them are in stock, some of them aren't, so you have to check with your AD. My video's late. No, they're not generally. I think it was about a week ago, my video came out like way too late. It's really weird. I upload a video and it takes 10-15 minutes, and just so happens that I know it was one about a week ago maybe, or a week before that, it took 7 hours to upload my video. I have no clue why. It took 7 freaking hours. So I don't know what's going on with that and why it does that, but sometimes it's longer than, and I don't know. But no, there's still pretty much, I try to keep, Friday I do the Q&A, and then Saturday I do another video. So I do 2 back-to-back videos, and then I wait till next Friday. I'm trying to figure out if I should do one during the week, but it's pressing it real hard for me to do that. And then lastly, what's Tony's favorite pizza joint? Dino's in Burbank, Hollywood Way and Burbank Boulevard. Best Tina, what the fuck did that come from? Best pizza in LA as far as I'm concerned. On par with New York's pizza, man. It's called Dino's, really good. Thanks for your question. This comes from Leek9621, Leec9621. Hello, Tony. What other watches do you have lined up in the future, and not just Rolex? I like the Zenith piece you own. Kind regards. Thanks, man. I have something lined up. I don't want to say anything until I get it, and I do want to get another Zenith, and I'm sort of just deciding between oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I've totally run a blank, dude. Not the Defy, but there is an Open. Then there's the professional, the sport professional chronograph, and the Revival. There you go. Whatever. So that's what I'm thinking about. I am getting one other Rolex. However, right now my cash supply for watches is, I just wish I had an endless supply. I just don't, So that's where I'm at. Thanks for your question, though. This comes from Jim Jafria. Jafria, do you remember that band from the 80s? Or Jifra, sorry. Hi, Tony. If you live in rural America and not anywhere near a Rolex AD, you have very little chance of a purchase. We can't visit an AD monthly like what is suggested. I have sent a professional email to 2 ADs requesting an appointment to meet and discuss what I could be to do to be considered, and that I was willing to travel to pay a visit. The 326933 Skydweller was what I'm after. I gave them history on my 30-year watch collection, a list of the luxury watches I have, including Rolex, and that is why I wanted the Skydweller. Okay. No response from either AD. Rolex could care less, I know. I'm going to purchase a Breguet instead. I use Watches of Switzerland is what I imagine, WOS. Omega Boutique at the Wynn in Vegas. I always get spectacular treatment there. I'm over Rolex, but some of your viewers may live in rural area and may want your advice. I don't know, dude. If you live in rural America, somewhere in the States where you're not near it and your AD is not responding to you, or the AD you want to work with is not responding to you, honestly, I can't give you any advice because I don't know. You might want to, like, if they don't respond, send them a follow-up email, you know what I mean? It just might be that they're busy and, whatever. I don't know. It's not, and I don't think that it's, Rolex doesn't care. Rolex doesn't know, it's a third party AD. They don't, it's not Rolex, it's the AD. And besides, you said you're going to get a Breguet. Breguet fucking way better watch than Rolex, but it's a different thing, isn't it? Breguet to me is high horology, or it is high horology, not just to me. And they are, as far as I'm concerned, Abraham Louis Breguet invented the tourbillon, you know what I mean? Watchmakers, fucking badass watches. Get a Breguet, you won't regret it. But anyway, thanks for your question, I appreciate it. EQ9962, thank you for taking us along. Okay, so I wish it were longer, and some of the questions I would love to know If and when you ever do a follow-up, where did you guys eat? Okay, you're talking about where I interviewed Juan, my AD. So if you haven't seen that video, I interviewed my AD Juan. And the restaurant we ate at was in Toluca Lake, Burbank on Riverside Drive, called Don Cuco's. And it's my favorite Mexican restaurant, and they will vouch that it was good too. I go there often. Where did you guys eat? Looks good, yeah. In Glendale or Burbank? It's in Burbank, but Toluca Lake, Burbank. How did Juan get into watch sales, and what kind of training does Rolex require? Juan, I mean, you're asking questions I should be asking Juan, but I know how he got into it. He told me he was a valet at the Glendale Gallery, and that's how he started. He moved into watches from valet, and it's so funny. Your follow-up question was exactly what he told me when he said he worked. When he got his job working at Bendy, does Rolex and these brands require specific training before staff can represent the brand? Rolex absolutely does, and apparently the training is long. There seems to be a very specific process each time I get one in the way it is presented, fitted, etc. How do they determine flippers? You can't. They don't. People, the ADs that say I can spot a flipper a mile away. No, you can't. You know what I mean? You don't have a fucking magic watch ball, dude. You know what I mean? You don't have telepathic. You can't read that dude's mind. You might just assume, you know what I mean? And then when you assume, what do? You make an ass out of you and me, right? It's this bullshit way of thinking, man. You don't ever really know until you know. You know what I mean? How do they determine flippers? I know they can't catch them all, or else the gray market wouldn't be full of new watches, but I am sure they see a lot of people and learn over time to screen. Yeah, they screen them. Always curious how things work behind the curtain. Thanks again for taking the time. Thank you, EQ9962. Yeah, they screen them, man. You know what I mean? There's questions that are asked. Anyone can lie, you know what I mean? It just, and then say, well, I'm not going to sell it. You know, sucks that they do that, but that's unfortunately just where we're at, you know what I mean? But you can't just, you know, I think my little sister told me she was at an AD and they told her, yeah, I know a flipper as soon as they walk through the door, you know, unless it's fucking Paul Thorpe, Timepiece Gentleman, or someone who's known on YouTube that walks in the door as a known flipper. Although I don't know why I mentioned his name. He's not really a flipper, is he? But, you know, then you would know. But otherwise, just your general guy. Maybe I'm that guy, right? Anyway, okay, Tony, excellent videos as always, Tony. What are your thoughts? This is from David9633. What are your thoughts on taking a watch purchased from the gray market to your AD for sizing? I just don't think my AD is going to come through, and I don't want to wait ages for the watch I want. You can do it, man. It's a Rolex, right? If it's a legit Rolex and you want to have it sized, you just want the bracelet sized, you bought it from another, you don't have to wait. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's what Rolex have service centers for. You know what I mean? Oh, they're not going to go, oh, you didn't buy this from an authorized dealer. What they'll say is, there's some Frankenstein parts on this watch and you didn't buy it from an authorized dealer, get the fuck out. But if it's a legit Rolex, everything's cool with it, then you take it and say you want to get it sized. They can't just say no, you know what I mean? If they have a service center, you know what I mean? They might, if they have a watchmaker in that store and that watchmaker say they're not working that day, and the sales rep could do it, but say he's busy, he may not want to do it, and therefore he might help you, tell you to come back when the watchmaker is there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't fret it, dude. You know? All right, I thank you for your question too. Last question is from Metagirl, my little sister. This might be a stupid question. I realize the history, etc. of the Daytona. However, given that there's a fair amount of mass production with Rolex, why is the Daytona so coveted? Well, you know, it never used to be, right? They used to give Daytonas away at the ADs. Buy a OP or buy a Datejust or whatever, and you would get a free Daytona. And then, you know, I think it just started becoming popular, you know. They started making them, and they said they were not too long ago you could still buy them at an AD. But what really happened was in 2017 when Paul Newman's Daytona came up for auction and sold for like $18 million freaking dollars, $100 billion. Then all of a sudden everybody had to have a Daytona, right? So that just jacked it up even further. I think the Daytona is a nice watch. I prefer the GMT Master 2s, but you know, it's just one of those watches. Now it's the Grail watch. Every Rolex collector has to have a Daytona, right? In my case, I even told my rep Juan that, like, hold off on getting me the Daytona, because I was getting a Daytona real soon, and I just said, just hold off for a minute, you know. And that's because I want to be able to get it and know that I'm comfortable when I do get it, you know, meaning I'm not stretching to get it, which I would be in this case. Anyway, having said that, I appreciate all you guys. Let me know if you want me to do any more videos during the week. I'm going to try to figure something out where I do maybe a shorter video and whatever. But again, thank you for liking and subscribing and all that. And please make sure you watch all of the videos. A lot of people, like, I put that video up of the GMT Master 2 Sprite, and people are like, congratulations, enjoy your new watch. I'm like, dude, it's not my watch. If you watch the video halfway through, I say I bought it for a friend and they reimburse me, kind of thing. Anyway, having said that, you guys are awesome. Thank you.